Hello everyone. In this video, we talk about the soil microbiology. So first, what is meant by soil microbiology? It is the branch of science which deals with study of soil microbes and their activity in soil. As we know, soil is the excellent medium for the cultivation of microorganisms. So, soil contains several different group of microorganisms, and they are important because they affect the soil structure and fertility. These microorganisms can be classified as a bacteria, actinomycetes, fungi, algae, and protozoa. Each of these groups has the characteristics that define them and their functions in soil. Basically, the soil life is classified into the three groups, which include microfauna, macrofauna, and mesofauna. Macrofauna, which include mice, mole, earthworm, etc. Mesofauna is a group of organisms or life which include nematodes, arthropods, mollusks, etc. And last one, that is the microfauna, which include protozoa, then bacteria, actinomyces, algae, etc. Next, we discuss about the importance of soil organisms. First role is they responsible for the cycling of carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and other nutrients. Second, they enhance the soil structure. Next is the decompose the organic material, maintain the soil quality and health, increase the soil aeration and penetrability, involved in the disease transmission and sometimes as a control. First group of microorganism is the soil bacteria. The bacteria is a group of microorganism which is very small, cannot be seen by naked eyes. They constitute the highest biomass of soil microorganisms because they are very small in size. They are adjacent and more abundant near the roots, because root is one of their food resource. Majority are heterotrophs. Also, there are many types of bacteria, but the focus here is on those that are important for the agriculture. For example, bacteria, rhizobium, and actinomycetes. Bacteria are important in agriculture soil because they contribute to the carbon cycle by fixation, photosynthesis, then decomposition. Some bacteria are important decomposers and others such as actinomycetes are particularly effective at breaking down through the tough substances such as the cellulose which make the cell wall of the plant, then chitin which make the cell wall of fungi. Next group is the actinomycetes. So actinomycetes is the transitional group between bacteria and fungi, active in degrading more resistant organic compounds. Optimal growth for the growth of the actinomycetes is noted at the alkaline pH. They produce the different byproducts which include the antibiotics, then the example is the streptomycin, geosmin, etc. Sometimes they show the negative impact on soil or plants that they produce the disease or they are the responsible to cause the disease. Example is the potato scab which is caused by the Streptomyces scabies. Next, they are the transition between bacteria and fungi. So, why they are transition between bacteria and fungi? Because they show some characters of the bacteria and some characters of the fungi. So, it is also called as a ray fungi. They show the gram staining character which is same as a bacteria, but the appearance on the plate, that is a nutrient media, they shows a thread like structure which is same as a fungi, so they are called as a ray fungi. Next is the soil fungi. These organisms are responsible for the important process of decomposition in terrestrial ecosystem as they degrade and assimilate cellulose, the component of the plant cell walls. The next is the important point is they are found more numerous in surface layer of well aerated and cultivated soils and dominant in acid soil. Common genera in soil are Aspergillus, Mucor, Penicillium, Trichoderma, Alternaria, Rhizopus. The next important point, this is the extensive diverse group of microorganisms present in soil as a mycelia. They are heterotroph because they depend upon living or dead organic matter for carbon and energy. Next, major group of fungi are aerobic organisms. Some tolerate very low O2, that is the oxygen, that is called as a facultative aerobic organisms. Next is they shows some positive and some negative impacts. Positive impact is that they produce the acid, and this acid dissolve or solubilize the insoluble compounds like the sulfur compounds and nitrogen compounds. So they play the major role in the nitrogen and the sulfur cycle, also in phosphorus cycle. Negative impact is that some group of fungi produce the disease or responsible for the disease. For example, powdery mildew, etc. Factors affecting distribution, activity and population of soil microorganisms. As we know, soil microorganisms, just like higher plants, depends entirely on soil for their nutrition, growth and activity. The major soil factor which influence the microbial population, distribution and their activity in the soil are like temperature, pH, then soil fertility, cultural practice, soil moisture, soil aeration, then organic matter, food and energy supply, nature of soil and the microbial association. All these factors play a great role in determining not only the number and type of organism but also their activities. Variation in any one of more of these factors may lead to the change in the activity of the organism, which ultimately affect the soil fertility level. Let's we discuss how these factors affect the soil microbial population. First point, that is the soil fertility. That is, fertility level of the soil has a great influence on the microbial population and their activity in soil. The availability of nitrogen, that is the NPK, required for plants as well as microbes in soil determine the fertility level of soil. On the other hand, soil microflora has a greater influence on the soil fertility level. Second one is the cultural practice. So, cultural practice which include cultivation, crop rotation, application of manure and fertilizer, liming and other applications which include pesticide, fungicide, weedicides also affect on the soil organism. For example, plugging and tillage operations facilitate the aeration in soil and exposure of the soil to the sunshine and thereby increase the biological activity of organism, particularly of bacteria. Next is the that is the for example crop rotation with legume maintains the favorable microbial population, balance the particularly of nitrogen fixing bacteria and thereby improve the soil fertility. Next is the when there is a liming of acid soil, increase the activity of bacteria and the actinomycetes. As we study that actinomycetes found in the acidic environment and lowers the fungal population. Fertilizers and manures applied to the soil for increase of crop production, supply food and nutrition not only to the crops but also to the microorganisms in soil and therefore they proliferate the or increase the number of activity of microbes. Next is when there is a foliar or soil application of different chemicals which include the pesticide, fungicides, nematicides in agriculture. They reduce the soil population because due to the leave toxic products or their residues in soil. Next is the soil soil moisture. It is the one of the important factor influencing the microbial population and their activity in soil. Water, that is the soil moisture, is useful to the microorganism in two ways. That is, it serves as a source of nutrient and supplies hydrogen and oxygen to the organism, and it serves as a solvent and carrier of the other food nutrient to the microorganisms. Microbial activity and population proliferate based in the moisture range of 20 to 60%. Under excess moisture condition, water lock. Condition due to lack of soil aeration, oxygen is reduced. So anaerobic microflora become dominant and aerobic gets suppressed. While in the absence of adequate moisture in soil, some of microbes die out due to the tissue dehydration, and so now some of them change their forms into resulting stage, that is the spore or cyst, and tide over adverse condition. Therefore, optimum soil moisture range is the 20 to 60%. Next is the soil temperature. Next to moisture, temperature is the most important environmental factor influencing the biological, physical, and chemical process of the microbes and microbial activity. Microorganism can tolerate extreme temperature range such as a -60 to +60 condition. But the optimum temperature range at which soil microorganism can grow and function actively is rather narrow. Depending upon the temperature range, which microorganism can grow and function are divided into three groups. That is, the first one is the psychrophilic organisms which grow at low temperature below 10 degrees Celsius. Second group of microorganisms is the mesophiles which grow well in temperature range, that is the 20 to 40 degree, and last one is the thermophiles, that is the range up to 45 to 60 degrees Celsius. Most of the soil microorganisms are mesophilic, and the optimum temperature for the most mesophile is the 37. So as seasonal changes in soil temperature affect the microbial population and their activity. In general, microbial population or activity of soil microorganism are the highest in spring season and lowest in winter season. Next is the soil, air or aeration. For the growth of microorganism, better aerations and oxygen is required. So depending upon the oxygen requirement, soil microorganism group into categories like the aerobic that require the oxygen for like process, anaerobic that do not require the oxygen, and microaerophilic that require the low concentration of the oxygen. So under high soil moisture level, water lock condition, gases exchange is stopped or hindered, and the accumulation of toxic products is formed. So there at that time there is a decline in the population of microorganism. Next factor is the light. Direct sunlight is the highly injurious to the most of the microorganism except algae. Therefore, upper portion of the surface soil as a centimeter or less usually sterile or devoid of microorganism. Effect of sunlight is due to heating and increase in temperature. Next factor is the soil reaction or soil pH. Soil reaction is defined as the influence or effect on the quantitative and qualitative composite on of soil microbes. Most of the soil bacteria, that is the blue-green algae, diatoms, protozoa, prefer neutral pH or slightly alkaline pH. Some fungi grow at the acidic, that is in the pH 4.5 to 6.5. But major soil reaction also influence the type of bacteria present in soil. For example, nitrifying bacteria and diazotropes like azotobacter are absent, totally inactive in acid soil, while some are present in acidic soil, that is the thiobacillus. Next is the soil organic matter. The organic matter in soil is the cheap source of energy and food for the most of the soil microorganism. It has a great influence on the microbial population. Organic matter influence directly or indirectly on the population and the activity of the soil organism. It influences the structure and the texture of soil, thereby activity of the organism. Next remaining three factors we will discuss in next topic, that is the nutrient cycling in soil.